Hey there, welcome in. My name's Josh. This is Road to Riot, and this is what I learned this week. Well, this week was awful. It was absolutely miserable, and I hated it. But at least I drew a lot. Figure drawing and gesture drawing is really hard, and it really humbles you. And I basically only got two main takeaways. Number one, 2-minute and 5-minute studies are best. 1-minute studies can help you get gesture lines down and basically just make glorified stickmen where you just get the gesture line and the action line, but that's kind of about it. 10-minute studies just let you slip into old habits though, and then you obsess over the contour and you kind of forget that you were doing gesture studies in the first place, and it starts turning into like a full body like portrait. So I found it helpful to start off with 1 minute, do a couple of 10 minutes just to like warm up, but then spend the bulk of your time doing 2-minute and 5-minute sessions. So this past week I broke up my time like this. I started off with 10 1-minute studies, and then I did 6 5-minute studies, and then I did 3 10-minute studies, and this comes into about an hour and 10 minutes or so. And then I repeated this set around 2 times. And if I could go back, I would still do this first set where you do the 1, the 5, and the 10, but then after that, after you get warmed up, after that first hour, I would switch to doing mostly 2 to 5-minute drills after that. Lesson number 2, anatomy knowledge helps so much. Knowing anatomy helps you know the proportions and structure of what you're trying to make, and I found myself really super struggling to accurately represent the muscle groups because I had no idea what they were or where they were, and then when I started looking at muscles, I realized I didn't even know anything about the skeleton. So then I looked up anatomy books online, and I found this really interesting resource of essentially, it's just figure-drawn skeletons. So then on Thursday and Friday of this week, I started really just looking at mostly just these. And as such, next week I'm going to be focusing almost exclusively on the skeleton and being able to rotate the rib cage around the spine, which so far seems to be the bulk of what you need to really know. So this is what I've learned so far in regards to that. So the first lesson is just to get out of your head and draw what feels right. This skeleton pose here took me about 10 minutes, which is ridiculous for what it is. So then I was like, you know what, I should be able to do this in a lot faster time if I'm only making a skeleton. So then I did it again and I set myself a timer and I was able to make this one in about 2 minutes. And the difference between these two is not worth the increased time, and that just showed me I'm capable of doing this a lot faster, but I'm so nervous and I'm taking so much time trying to get it just right that I'm forgetting that the whole point is to capture the flow and the essence and the gesture of the thing, and so it's just chill out. And the second thing I learned is that this loop up here, up at the top of the rib cage, it represents the top loop of the rib, so like basically your first ribs, and that really sells the perspective and sets the stage for the rest of the rib cage. And then this center line here, this is your sternum, and it's kind of like the edge of a cube. So getting the rib cage right is really important, and it pretty much makes or breaks the entire pose. So to sum up, gesture drawing is super hard, and it's extremely closely related to anatomy, and the two go hand in hand, and the more you know of both, the better everything will be. And basically, learn to laugh at yourself, because that's the only way you're going to get through this. But don't give up and just say it's too hard or not worth it, or you'd rather just do something else. Like, you have to get this in order to make the things that you want to make. So push through. I know they're awful, but we'll get better together, okay? That's it for this Road to Riot. Thanks for watching. If you want to hang out with me while I practice and do these lives, you can find me over on Twitch. And if not, don't worry about it. I'll keep making these review videos for you here on YouTube. See you next time.